What's up, everybody? What's up? Good evening. Good evening. Thank you guys for joining us on a Tuesday night. Like we said, like clockwork, every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, guys. Thank you guys for joining the Cash Geeks Network show. Guys, I'm Dom.
And I'm G.
And this is the Cash Geeks Network. And you are on a show where we go in on real estate investing, wholesaling, interviewing flippers, retail agents, everything real estate all day long, every day, right? So guys, we have a couple of very, very respectable folks on the show with us tonight. We have my man, Andre Irigoyen. You're in Miami, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
The 305.
Yep, he's one of our very active JVers, and we have a great friend of ours, and now team member, partner, my man Hayden Vance, coming live at you guys, so we can talk about JVing virtually, right? What does it take for us to all come together and figure this thing out so we all win together, right? We all make money together, and that's what we want to talk to you guys about tonight, right? JVing virtually. So my man Andre Irigoyen lives in Miami right now. He's doing deals here in Jacksonville. We're helping him with it. So one of the things, if we want to just jump into it, Andre, are you cool with just jumping into it?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, a lot of people are on here watching tonight. They want to get into wholesaling. They might be wholesaling right now, but maybe they don't do it virtually, right? Maybe they don't do it over the phone. Maybe they haven't figured out the different moving parts to get the deals done without leaving their couch, their office chair, whatever the case may be. So I know a lot of people are probably really interested in hearing, like, you're in Miami, right? You're doing deals in Jacksonville. How is that possible?
Definitely. So the way that I'm doing it right now is pretty much cold calling from my room. That's how I got all of those deals. Pretty much just cold calling. And with your guys' help, I've had the help like from you and from a couple other buddies that I've teamed up with to have like boots on the ground, help me take pictures and do the showings for me when I'm not there. I've never even been into Jacksonville, like never.
Dude, that's awesome.
But I always, yeah, it's been a place that I wanted to do deals, and pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I didn't had a lot of like buyers there,
right?
So that's when I contacted you guys, and that's where everything took off.
That's awesome, man. So I want like, why Jacksonville? Why did you pick Jacksonville?
So my father actually went to your guys' offices.
No way.
Yeah, a while ago, and he was telling me like I was having like a lot of trouble here in Miami to getting a couple deals, like doing it consistently. So my father recommended me, why don't you go to Jacksonville and why don't you try Jacksonville? And I was like, okay. So I started to study a lot of Jacksonville and started to become friends with some people over there in Jacksonville. And I just bought a list in Jacksonville, and it started going really, really well. A lot better results from here in South Miami. So.
Oh, that's awesome. How did your father get to come to our office?
I believe he has a partner over there in Jacksonville, and he's my father's actually a buyer. He fixes and flips, and he was looking to buy in Jacksonville, so he went with his partner over there to meet you guys and see if they can, if we can work together, and him as a buyer, pretty much.
Oh, that's crazy, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So he met Jackie.
Yep.
He met both of you guys as well. Probably you don't remember
awesome.
though, because it was like a year ago, I think. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So so you picked Jacksonville because you knew it was a good market, and you had some boots on the ground here. So are you only doing cold calling?
Yeah, pretty much cold calling. Also talking to a couple other realtors there to get me, some of the deals that they're not able to list or they're not able to sell at the price that the sellers want. So I'm also getting some leads from realtors as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So can you walk me through your process of a virtual deal, right? Because the deals that you've brought to us, you already had them locked up.
Yeah.
So walk me through that, like, if you don't mind sharing, right? Like what are you doing? You're cold calling, you're running comps. Let me know.
Yeah, definitely. So pretty much I'm a buy list as everyone does. Cold call them. Once I have like a lead, I'll pretty much tell them that I'll run the numbers, that I'll check with my partners and everything, and then I comp the deal, see if it makes sense. And then I always try to get a number from the sellers.
Right.
And then I get back with them with an offer, and after they agree with the offer, pretty much I send them a DocuSign. They sign,
Nice.
and then I give them a call and I explain them how it's gonna be, the next steps from there.
Gotcha.
And that's pretty much it. That's how I do it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's actually very similar to the way that we do it. So that's really cool that you're doing it from Miami, and
Yeah.
then so how from that end, right? You get the deal, you get it under contract, you call the seller, you let them know the next steps. So what do you do after that?
Pretty much after that is what I did. I pretty much sent it to you guys to help me find a buyer. Um, and those deals were pretty tight, so I didn't have like a buyer that would be able to pay that price, that like we did on those two deals that we worked together. And I sent it to you guys, and you guys pretty much took care of all of the disposition of that deal. And that's pretty much where you guys were telling me, oh, we need this, we need that from the owner, and I was communicating with the owner
Mm-hmm.
all of the documents that they needed. And yeah, pretty cool, pretty simple process.
Dude, what I think is really, really cool is like,
awesome.
so your dad, where does your dad live now? Does he live in Miami as
Yeah,
well?
we both live here in Miami. Yeah.
So your dad lives in Miami. He comes to Jacksonville with his partner with the intention to fix and flip. He visits our
Yeah.
office, right? He saw something that he was interested in, that he liked. You like the concept of wholesaling. So he tells you, what about Jacksonville? Look into Jacksonville. You research Jacksonville, you pull a list, you start calling, you start locking up deals, and you reach
Yeah.
out to us, right? The only reason you probably know us is maybe social media, and your dad met us, so he visited us, right? So maybe social media brought us together. So you reach out to us, and now we're doing deals, right? We've done several deals together already. So what I want to know, and I think a lot of people should hear, like, what what goes through your mind? What kind of mindset do you have as to where you can just pick up, you have this idea, I want to do deals in Jacksonville, you research it and you just do it and you make it happen and you reach out to the people that are doing work there. How do you have that courage, that confidence to start operating business in that way?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much I see it like all the time. So many people doing it virtual, and with how everybody is connected nowadays, you can pretty much obviously you want to work with people you trust. And I saw you guys, the way that I found you guys was through a YouTube video, and I think it
Mm.
was with it was an interview, and I saw you guys were killing it in Jacksonville, and I was like, okay, these guys are gonna be my partners over there. And
Oh,
then I reached out
nice.
to you, and I said, okay, I have these guys over here, and I can focus on the acquisitions, and they're physically over there, so they can definitely help me every time I get a deal over there. And
Right.
that's pretty much where kind of like I have like the assurance that I have a great team over there working with me, and I can be over here just locking up deals.
So now a lot of people that are virtual, that maybe they're in different markets and they want to come to markets like Jacksonville or investor friendly markets so they can do wholesaling and other types of real estate investing. How do you develop like, you've never done a deal in Jacksonville, you just grabbed the list, you called, you locked up the deal. How can you perform with that type of confidence?
Yeah, that's
Um,
huge.
yeah, I mean, it's absolutely huge. There's a lot of people, they're in analysis paralysis right now, right? They don't know
Yeah.
what to do. They're nervous to lock that deal up because they don't want to make a promise to someone, to a seller, and not perform. How do you get over that hurdle?
So one really good thing that I can tell you guys is to pretty much really understand how to run comps, and understand like value.
Hmm.
That's something great. And also another thing that I'm gonna start doing, and it's something that I recommend to people, is you can send it to people, send your deal to the people that you trust, and they are working on that local market. And you can tell them, hey, is this a good number to lock it up? How much can we sell this one for? And then
Right.
they'll tell you the price, and that way you can go to the seller and give him a price that you
Yeah.
you will be able to perform.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge, and that's actually why we brought Hayden onto the team. We joined forces because we see how valuable it can be in our marketplace to partner up with other wholesalers. We're actually doing a lot of deals. It's funny because we have another guy, John, and he's also not in Jacksonville, right? He's also not in Jacksonville. Another guy that you're talking about. Yeah. He's some guy in north.
We got some guy like Massachusetts, I think.
Yeah. So a bunch of people that are marketing in Jacksonville, and we're helping them out. And if you ever need help with like boots on the ground, like just going to take pictures, we can do that for you. Lock changes, putting on a lockbox, we'll do that for you. Hayden, his position is going to be to reach out to other wholesalers and see what do they got. What properties are you going to that you might not know what to offer? You know what I mean? Do you need help creating a number on, what to make the offer on? Yeah. So that's kind of his whole role now in the business. That's why he called you, introduced himself to you, because all the people that we're going to be doing deals with are now going to go work directly with Hayden, so that they can get the attention that that they need and deserve.
Yeah, no, and to add to it, like, I wasn't a wholesaler at one point in time, and I was, doing deals for my cousin, which was a flipper. So it took us probably a year to break into wholesaling, and I think the biggest mental block that I had is like I'm a salesman through and through, and so I'm naturally driven by emotion. So when I commit to buy somebody's house, it's super important to me that like I build a deep relationship with that person to really gain their trust. But also, like, I have to perform. Like, if I go through the effort to build that, it wears down on me. Like, I gotta know I can do the deal. So we stayed away from wholesaling for a while because of that. And if there would have been a person that I could have called up and known that I could wholesale a property at a certain price and that the process was going to be done and I could give my client, the treatment that they deserved, I would have been successful with it a lot earlier. So I kind of see it as a way that I can kind of give to something that I've seen very valuable in my experience, and give that gut check, give the confidence that I know that I would need if I was in the field in your position. Everybody's different, but understanding how I think about the wholesale business, I look forward to it, dude. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Really so fun. Be it a couple of days in, it's been super active, super busy. But yeah, man. So right now, I mean, with your deal, we had one on like over on the west side, right, west side of Jacksonville, and that one you already had under contract. You already had pictures for that one, also, right?
Yeah.
When you sent it to us.
From one of my buddies that we have boots on the ground from, so
nice.
He helped me take pictures of. Yeah.
So you had pictures. You sent it to us. We marketed it out. There was a little bit of a situation with the occupant.
Yeah.
But we always believe that money fixes everything, right? Sadly, or you can use it to your advantage, right? But money fixes everything. So there was a lady in the property who did like a rent to own, right? In a couple years before we got involved on the seller trying to sell it, and the occupant never performed, right? The occupant never performed, so the owner gave the occupant a letter saying, "Hey, you didn't perform. This is, this agreement is null and void." Right. She was claiming we showed up with our investor. She was like, "What's going on?" She was like, "I'm buying this house," right? So we resolved that with basically $1,500, and naturally. I think we gave her like 3 weeks or something like that. Yeah, so it was like 2 or 3 weeks. We gave her $1,500. I remember because I called her because it was like Thanksgiving time, and she works in the schools, so it was like Thanksgiving break, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna catch her now. And we were calling, no answer. We had a door knocker, and then my field manager had to negotiate it out there in person. She called me up. I was like, offer her like $200. And then she called me. She's like, "Hey, she wants $2,500." I was like, "All right, let's try to get her down as much as possible." We settled at $1,500. She signed, And then sure enough, dude, she was out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went, and then the day after, we closed. Yeah, so that was exciting. And then on this one, the seller, so we're doing a second deal, and the seller is giving the tenant cash for keys. Yeah.
Dude,
how did you
wasn't
manage
it
that?
Not too long
That's
ago.
all him.
That's incredible. Wow. Negotiation of the year.
Yeah, wasn't it not too long ago we had a deal where we locked up a deal from the seller, and then the seller brought the buyer?
Oh yeah, we've had that. We've had that.
We've had some unusual things.
Yes. But yeah, but he got the seller. Seller did. I don't know if you helped this. Did you help the seller with the cash for keys agreement and all that?
Yeah, so
Yep,
I helped him to talk with a tenant and all of that. I explained it to him how it works, and I pretty much wrote up the agreement, and I sent it to him so he can send it to the tenant, and
There
they
you
pretty
go.
much agreed on it. Yeah.
There you go. And now we got them on the contract. So now they're gonna get paid from the closing. Make it easier for everybody. Oh, and did you know about on the first property, the mortgage holder? Did you know about the whole situation with that?
No.
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 Oh my God, dude. So there was a mortgage holder for this property, and it was a private mortgage, right? And it was a lady, older lady, and she didn't really trust the parties involved, right? So she was like, I'm not signing a release of the mortgage until I get my money. But you can't give them the money until they sign the release of the mortgage. You know what I mean? So it was like this thing.
Catch-22. Yeah.
So I literally had to go to the lady's I had to go to her house. I had to break it down step by step. I still have the document because she made me sign. We both signed the document. It was just in writing, right? Step one, we're gonna get the copy of, because she asked for a copy of my license. She was just like vetting everything, and she wanted to get a copy of the title commitment and the closing statement to make sure that this was legit. So I said I was gonna get her the copy of the closing statement. Then she would come. Then she had to put it in writing, not a release of the mortgage, because she didn't want to do a release of mortgage, but the title company needed something in writing with the payoff amount. So she wrote a letter saying this is not a release of mortgage, but the payoff amount for this property is X amount of dollars. So I gave that to the title company, and then the title company mailed us the check here to my office. Then she came to my office, and then she signed the release literally as I gave her the check. It was amazing. And this was the mortgage holder to that property, the first one that we closed. Yeah.
I had no idea about that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we took care
That's
of on
what
the
we
back
do.
end for you.
That's
yeah.
what we do, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, because she was just giving the title company a hard time. She was like, I'm not signing until I get paid. I'm not gonna just release. I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
I'm old fashioned. We do
Kinda
everything
smart.
in person.
Yeah.
And it didn't help. We were using a title company in Orlando, right? That didn't help at all. So it wasn't like we could go to the title company office and do it there. It
Just
was
do it
like
all, yeah.
they had to mail us the check, overnight us the check, do it here. It was fun. It was fun.
Hey, so really quick, I want to give a few shout outs. We've got some people on the feed right here. First and foremost, we got my man Gary Booth Jr.
What's up,
here
what's up?
in the studio on the mic.
Oh, Gary Booth is mic'd up?
Gary Booth is mic'd
He's
up.
Oh,
muted
my
right now.
man.
He's on the studio couch. Shout out to
Yeah.
you. Shout out
So-
to my man Manly. Go ahead.
I was going to say, eventually Warren is going to set up some cameras on the couch, so when there's guests on the couch, it'll.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
give you
there's a
background.
couch back there, and we have live viewers, a ton of
you can-
people.
you can spin-
Only one person, though.
You could spin that around so they see.
Oh, you can? All right, Gary, you ready to say what's up?
Gary.
Oh, where's the,
what are you
where's
looking
the
at?
camera at?
What is that, a
You
check?
gonna skin it
No,
around?
the
What's
top.
that?
The top.
What are
Can I
you
do
doing,
it?
Gary? He's got tax
is the party
documents.
couch.
It's your boy.
Yeah.
So feel free, everybody come here on the couch. We'll listen them to some great content and hang out.
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Apparently
Shout out to
look
my
at-
man Manly Hines. He's been very active on social media. His business is blowing up. What's up, man? He's in Georgia, right? Atlanta area, I think now.
Yep.
Shout out to my wife Marisol. She says, hey. Shout out to my man Henry Angeli. What's up, Cash Nerds? He says.
Put some respect on my name.
Put some spec on it. So we got Will Baker, coffee and blunts dude, right?
It's a master baker.
He has a question, average dials to get a deal. I'll break that down in just a second, so we'll come back to that.
My boy Zach Sharp says
what is that?
That's true. That's true,
So,
Zach.
Marlana Stricker, what's up, young lady?
Ooh, Hayden.
Double
Someone owes
thumbs
you
up.
lunch.
Double thumbs up. Zach Sharpie, yep, Hayden, he owes you lunch.
Sharp?
Why
Is it
does
Sharp
he owe
or
you lunch,
Sharpie?
though?
Not you guys. You're not.
Is it
you're not
Sharp?
cool enough.
Is it Sharp or Sharpie?
It's Sharp.
Yeah, it's Sharp.
Sharpie.
Sharpay.
Yeah, I thought he was French.
Zach Sharpay.
So Henry wants a lunch in there too. So he's trying to, you know how he tries to sneak a little lunch in there every once in a while.
Dude, remember when Henry set up a lunch in our office?
I see Henry once every 2 months at a lunch. It's your boy GB. And what's
Sincere Akil.
Double
says,
Sincere.
"Cheers, Hayden."
I've looked at a few of his deals. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's up,
okay.
man?
Sincere.
Send me more. What's good?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's take a peek-see. All right, so Will Baker, average dials to get a deal. So you know what's funny? So we do about, say, 100,000 dials a week, right? Is that safe to say?
Yes.
100,000 dials a week, right? We had, I think our average leads per month is about 550 leads a month.
Okay.
Right? So 100,000 dials a week. So how does that average into a month?
So 4.3.
100,000, right? Times 52 divided by 12. So it's about 433,000.
Yo, your mic is off.
433,333 dials a month. Okay? So out of that, we probably get an average of 550 leads a month.
Okay.
And we locked up 28?
28 contracts.
We locked up 28 contracts, right? So he's asking, to deal. So we don't know how many deals are going to come from that. So 28 contracts, so we can look at contracts per dial, right? So how does that work out?
I would just use like a 75% factor.
Why don't we just guess?
Yeah,
Should we just guess?
Historically, what's like the deal to contract rate?
What is deal to contract?
Like closing, people get paid.
70-ish percent.
Yeah, that's pretty typical. So yeah, 28 times 0.7.
It's that percent. So it's a very small number, guys. You guys heard the hard numbers. We don't know the percentage.
You thought wholesaling was easy.
So wait, let's backtrack that math.
Henry, you know we've called you a couple of times, Henry. You just don't pick up our calls, bro.
It doesn't pick up my calls either.
What about you, Andre? Are you using like a dialer?
Yeah, Mojo.
Mojo dialer. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
It just goes to show you, everyone's into the, you do use this dial, use that dial. It doesn't matter. Just do the work.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Just freaking dial.
Exactly.
Pick up the phone and start dialing.
Your wife wants to leave you? I don't care. Pick up the phone and start dialing. Hey, so Andre, really quick, what are the sales movies that motivate you?
Oh, from that line right there, The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, so when you're dialing and you're selling these sellers, are you thinking of that movie? Are you picturing yourself in a seat in that office?
Yeah, but obviously like the tone is completely different. It's not that like savvy on sellers, It's more like nice. I have to use like a more nicer, like if I'm talking to like my grandparents, it's kind of like that kind of tone that I use.
That's true. But once you hang up the phone, you're like, damn, I sold that seller, boy.
Yeah, that's right.
She got locked up.
Oh, that's funny.
It's the same here.
But no, it's true because, and it's funny that you bring that up because I've always brought that up. Like, everybody thinks that you have to be like this sales shark and like super like savvy and like slick and whatever. It's just
the
you just
opposite.
got to kill them with kindness.
Yep.
you know, and
Humility, being genuine.
yeah. Make them want you to win by giving you their house, and like, I hope you do well with this, and you know what I mean, like.
That's when you know you won.
Yeah,
When they
exactly.
say, when you can say, well, you know, I want to make money on this, right? And then they say, well, I want you to make money on this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the art of getting walked over and being okay with it.
Yes.
Empowering them with no.
This is the. This is what you see when you come to the office. This is what we have up.
Let's go, baby. Someone take a snapshot of that.
Can you?
We can try.
How do you do that?
Take a Snapchat? Just how old are you,
Just turn
dude?
I said a
You
snapshot.
didn't say a Snapchat.
Someone
What are you,
Snapchat this.
55 all of a sudden?
Wait, hello. I'm gonna do a
Oh,
selfie.
man. All right.
I'm gonna try to.
So, do you have any deals in the pipeline?
Yeah, I have like a couple that I'm working right now. Some from like direct owners, and then I have some others that are coming from realtors. Like I told you, like the leads
Nice.
that I get from some realtors.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
so you're doing the cold calling. Are you doing any texting?
No, I haven't done any texting. I'm looking to do texting, but right now I'm just pretty much doing cold calling. I'm with those deals that close, I'm pretty much going to expand more in the marketing spend.
Yeah.
And I'll get into texting. Yeah.
Because we'll make a good amount on this one that's gonna close. I
Yeah.
think it's closing on the 4th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
We've closed one. What's the most recent one we've closed with him?
So we closed one, and we made that's the one over on the west side. I forgot the address.
It was George Wood.
Georgewood, yeah, Georgewood. I was thinking of Glenwood, but I was like, it's not Glenwood.
No.
Okay. So that one, I think that one we split like 15 grand, right?
Yeah.
So, well,
I
actually,
think it was 12,
it was
and then it was like, yeah, it was actually that, and then we had to do the cash for
1500.
keys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think we made like 7 grand, six and change, or 7 grand
Each, right?
Each. Yep. And then this one, the second one that we're gonna close, we're gonna make like 13, right? 13 and change each. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Keep them coming, man. We love the business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So definitely, like, that's one thing that we do a good job on is maximizing the deals, right? Is connecting it with the right investor who's gonna, still make money when they purchase it, and it just fits the model of different investors. Some investors, some flippers are like, hey man, how are you selling that thing? Well, it's a buy and hold investor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the buy and hold investor. It's somebody who's gonna buy it. They're gonna put money into it and refinance it, and then if they can get the property with a little bit of money into it, awesome. And so that's something that we've really honed down on. And I always look at one of the biggest companies here in Jacksonville is JWB. The reason why they just crush it is because they've honed down on their buyer side, and they've just built their own market.
Right.
So it's huge. Acquisitions is very important, and like our business as wholesalers is primarily acquisitions, getting contracts for the right price. Because if acquisitions is slow, everything else is kind of dead. But building the relationships with as many investors as you can, and then also building up a dispo army will allow us to do more deals, not just with our acquisition team, but with other people, right? So right now we're growing our disposition team right now. By the way, if anybody's watching, we are looking to hire a disposition manager, somebody who helps us sell the deals, reach out to buyers, call Gary up. They got to call Gary. Get
lowballed.
You got to get lowballed by Gary, but it's part of the job.
That's one of the roughest calls you'll ever make, is calling Gary Booth Jr. But you'll wind up selling to him anyway, right?
Yes.
I tell you, your baby's ugly.
All babies ain't cute, right, Gary?
Not the houses you sell.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, but he makes $70K a deal, right?
Right.
$70K,
Dude,
Gary.
Gary, I think you went to look at Georgewood. I think
So-
right? No, he got to the
I don't
the
know
driveway.
if you heard me gagging when you said that you made 15, you split 15K, because I actually offered lower, obviously, than what you sold it for, but I thought it was competitive. Anyway, so the one that got away.
Competitive
The one
with
there,
what? The
yeah.
other lowballers?
Well, hey, look, if everybody's a lowballer, maybe it's not them.
Ooh, okay,
If
okay.
we're all low ballers,
I'll
then
take that.
No
I'll take
one's
that.
a low baller.
And who's the baller?
We're the high ballers.
We're just looking for the ballers, Gary. I know that you're low. It's all right.
Look at Marisol type 70K Gary in the feed.
70K Gary, let's go.
70K off. Of
Dude, not for
40.
nothing, but Gary bought a mobile home from us that no one else wanted to buy, and he did very well.
And
off
he
of
made
it.
70 grand on it.
No,
Not for nothing.
not for nothing.
All right.
Gross. I didn't say net.
All right. So,
We all made 70K gross.
so do you have any plans of going into any other markets or just Jacksonville?
Right now, I want to focus in Jacksonville a lot.
Okay.
Good. My
good.
father is doing like fix and flips over there in Tampa, and we're looking to do some here in South Florida as well.
Okay.
But
Well, we're in
as-
Tampa too, so we can sell you some stuff hopefully to your dad.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, your
Yeah,
dad hasn't
definitely.
bought from us, right?
No, he hasn't bought from you guys yet. Yeah.
Dude, we need to
what's-
sell him your deal. You JV it
Oh,
to
yeah.
us, and then we sell him your property. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, we're still new to the Tampa area, but hopefully we can help him out.
Awesome. Yeah.
That would be awesome. Have you on the show and have your dad on the show.
Yeah.
So just Jacksonville for now.
Yeah, Jacksonville. When I started like in Jacksonville, one thing that when I saw that video, that YouTube video that they interview both of you guys, I was seeing that you guys did like it was like 200 deals, and in a period of time, and I was like, damn, these guys are getting all of the deals in Jacksonville. And I was
Not
thinking, oh,
even
how am
close.
I gonna get a deal in Jacksonville?
But it's not
Probably
true.
when I
We're
call the
probably
seller.
at 1% of
Yeah,
the deals.
There's a
If
crazy amount
that.
of deals. Yeah, yeah.
And I was like saying, probably when I call the seller, probably Cash Geeks has already called them like 15 times or something. And then I got all those deals in contract, and I was like, damn, I got them even with someone that is so big as you guys.
Yeah.
And we
It's a
got to work
mindset of
together, which is
abundance.
the best thing. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
to work together on
Yeah.
them.
And there's tons more, man. There's like exactly what you're saying. There's tons of other wholesalers getting deals, cold calling, direct mail, internet leads, and that's why another reason to bring up Hayden, right? That's why we brought on Hayden to the team, because we know we can't capture everything, right? Sellers are just, some people just hit it off different with the seller. So, some people get them at the right time. I don't know. I'm not gonna capture, even if I tried. You just can't capture. Like, there's so many cash transactions in Jacksonville every single month. It's insane. When in December, there was, in a month and a half, there was almost 2,000 cash transactions closed on the MLS. So that's not counting
Public record or
off-market deals. So there was 2,000.
Wow.
I was trying to give data to an investor friend of mine who was analyzing the Jacksonville market, and he wanted me to pull as many records as I could from the MLS. And then when I went to download this huge list, the MLS only let me download 2,000 records. So I had to refine down the data, and what I got to was a month and a half worth of cash transactions in Flex MLS, Duval County. And it was a month and a half, dude, 2,000 cash transactions.
I would venture to say that for every 2 MLS deals, there's 1 off market.
Right.
So that like 3,000 a month.
Yeah.
10 isn't-
Because of
10 isn't
how
anything.
big wholesaling has gotten now, like, dude, the off market is like insane
It
right
is,
now.
right?
Like you don't even have
Like,
to go. And
Open Door
realtors
and Zillow.
and
yeah.
realtors, you know, they're not able to find stuff on the, you know, on the MLS, so they're posting in Facebook groups. Hey, I have a buyer who's looking for a 3-2 in this neighborhood. If you have anything or know anybody that would sell, you know, they're already pre-approved FHA buyers or whatever. Like the market's just insane. How have you tried to do anything in the Miami market?
Yeah, so pretty much I started learning about wholesaling like a year ago, and I really started mid to 2020, like when the pandemic pretty much started hitting the US. That's when I really started to get on the phone and really work on it. And I started here in Miami, and I was having like a really tough time. Like everyone was telling me, "Oh, they already called me," and it was actually the same exact stuff that happened in Jacksonville. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I went with Jacksonville with a different mindset, and that's probably why I did pretty well over there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And do you know a bunch of wholesalers in Miami?
Yeah, I know a lot of them. Yeah,
Are they
some of them that are killing it? Yeah.
Yeah, because I know there's a lot of. It is a very competitive market down there, but I know there's active wholesalers crushing it over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like I believe like 4 that are getting like most of the deals here, and they're killing it right now. Yeah.
Right. That's crazy, man. Yeah, Miami. Every time we talk to people about Miami, it's never good. It's just always crazy. You know, it's crazy. Yeah. It's its own world.
Yeah.
It's super busy, super competitive. Prices are crazy. Yeah. So
it's a way different business climate too.
Yeah.
Miami. I remember one time when I was buying my first car in Florida, I went to Miami because I thought that was a good idea. Showed up at I'm like text the guy, I'm like, hey, you know, it's gonna be fine to get back to Jacksonville, right? And I knew it was a used car, and I get down there and like the transmission's like I pull up at a red light and it like rolls like 5 feet after I hit the brakes. I'm like, is this fine? The dude, the salesman's like in the back seat. I'm like, yo, are you seeing this? He's like, oh, it's good, no worries. It's like, okay, so Miami's just different. I just don't want to do transactions in Miami. All right, gotcha.
Yeah.
No, but it is like I feel like that was why I was so drawn to Jacksonville. Like I'm from Idaho originally, Andre. So I moved down here and really got lucky because the investor community in Jacksonville is a lot more like of an abundance mindset. Like they don't kind of crush the little guy. It's you know, we all want to make money. We all know how the business works. It's not smoke and mirrors. Like we'll just be honest with each other. I feel like there's not a lot of markets in the U.S. that play nice as Jacksonville does with each other. But that's my opinion. But
That's a good point.
Miami would be an entirely different beast.
Oh, I
could
bet.
imagine.
I bet.
Yeah, Miami definitely doesn't play nice at all.
Yeah. No.
So when are you gonna come up to Jacksonville?
Oh man, yeah, I want to visit you guys. I've never been there, and my father told me that your office. He went to the old office, obviously.
Oh,
and he told me that that office was crazy. He told me that you guys have screens everywhere, and
Yeah.
I was
Dude, we
like,
have
oh, I
even
wanna
more
visit
screens
that
up
office.
here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all about the screens. More screens, more opportunity.
Oh
That
yeah.
was that Gandhi or Jesus? Who said that? It was Jesus who said that. Yeah.
Sacrilege.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, man. So keep, super pumped about continuing to do business with you. I think a lot of people can learn from you because everything is in the head, right? Like a lot of people are in Jacksonville or in their local market, and they're scared to do deals in their own local market. And someone like you, I just found out you're a year into it, right?
Yeah.
Already
Crushing
closing
it.
deals
Yeah.
in a market that you're not in, and then what I love is that you like immediately learned the cash for keys thing on that first deal and just immediately implemented it on that second deal.
Yes.
Wrote up the whole agreement,
Yeah.
got it all figured out.
He's just an action taker, man.
Yeah.
Quick
Action
learner.
takers are money makers.
Hey,
know?
so one of the things I want to ask you, Andre, is so for anyone that's watching this, they want to get into wholesaling or they want to start a venture or start getting into real estate, what kind of advice can you give that person so that they can have an experience like you had just getting into business or getting into real estate?
Definitely. So I believe a lot in having like in not trying to make mistakes yourself and learning from others, and learning fast. So the best way to do that is pretty much, you know, invest into some learning, into learning the business, into learning sales, into learning how to speak with sellers, and practicing. Like if you don't want to get on the phone with sellers, like have a buddy do like role playing with you, and you know, learn the script, learn how to talk to people, and then just pound the phone. And the more calls you make, like the more confident you are. Like when you're starting to make the phone calls, you feel the chills, you get cold feet, you're like super scared. But once you get into it, it's kind of like, oh, this is not really that bad.
Do it 1,000 times.
And and you'll obviously get cussed out, and you'll be said ugly things all the time.
No.
But
So do you remember when your first day of calling was?
Oh yeah, it was horrible.
How long ago was it? How long ago was it?
It was probably like 6 or 7 months ago. Yeah.
6 or 7 months ago, right?
Yeah.
So what happened on that first day?
So on the first day, I got like everybody said no, and then I got one guy that was interested, but his mortgage was over the value of the house. And then I gave him the offer, and he kind of like got mad, hung up on me. And then the next day, I got two guys that wanted retail. So I even called them. So I like my follow-up game was really weak back then. So I didn't even call them. I was like, okay, I'll let you know. And and then over time, I kind of like started learning. You know, I invested into some learning, and started to learn how to talk to people, and kind of like go over the objections, and putting people's guard down, because I didn't know anything like how to navigate on the conversation or anything. Yeah.
Right.
So I want to touch real quick, Andre. You said learning sales. How many people that like start out and don't really know much about how deals work, the amount of time they want to talk about CRMs and what data to target and what marketing type to do, like it literally means nothing. What we do, it all comes down to person-to-person interaction and that person liking and trusting you. That's all it is. Anything outside of that is just fluff. And so I respect that for sure, and I think that's the biggest difference between somebody like yourself and those who don't experience the success in as short of amount of time that you've experienced, is that you've stressed the people over you know, the little stuff that you can get caught in. It's just about talking to people. The more time you spend talking to people, the more opportunities you have. You're gonna go really far, dude, with that mindset for sure.
Yeah.
Sounds like wholesaling's a numbers game. Is that right?
If you take the right action, yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true, man. It's all in the numbers.
I like to do the math, and you count like how many calls you made, and when you close a deal, you divide by that, and then you're like, oh, I made this amount with each call.
Every time I pick up the phone, I did the same thing. I came from insurance sales, and I cold called. I remember 18 years old. You know, first 2 months, I'd cold call every day. You know, I'd try to do it 3 hours a day, and that's how I had to motivate myself. And that's what I tell other people is like, just think about. Like, I'm going to tell you my numbers, and they might not be yours, but like, think about it like this. You're going to make $15 every time you pick up the phone. And it relieves a lot of the stress around it, and it brings purpose to the action that actually matters, right? Nothing happens unless we dial, really. I mean, especially for us, you know, on our end.
Yeah, I agree. Cool, man. So let's do some more business. Keep the deals coming. If you need any help with anything, if you need any kind of advice on what to offer on a deal, if you feel like the deal's too tight, you know, obviously I'd love to make 30 grand every deal, you know, but we don't necessarily have to make 30 grand, right? And on some deals that you might think are too tight, reach out to Hayden and just, you know, hey, I got this, you know, seller's looking to make this, or they owe this, they want to walk away, whatever it is. Call Hayden, let him know what's in the pipeline. You know, we'll never try to go around you or anything like that. We have too much of a reputation to care about. So reach out to Hayden, send him your deals, and also if anybody is watching that also wants to do deals with us, reach out to us, reach out to Hayden. How can they reach you, Hayden?
904-420-3844 or Hayden@cashgeeks.com. Facebook, if you got me on Facebook, I have a lot of, some of you probably on Facebook. But yeah, reach out, let me know. I whatever, like you don't even have to have a deal under contract. You could just be looking for comps. You could be looking for an opinion, a repair, estimate, whatever. Like I am your servant, so keep me busy. Keep me looking at opportunities, whatever you need, contracts, I got you.
Awesome, man. Andre, thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate you hopping on, sharing with the world, with everybody who's watching, different things that helped you get started and what you're doing so that other people can do the same. Keep the business coming, man. I want to, let's take over Jacksonville together. And with everybody watching, next Tuesday, we're actually not going to be on, right? We're gonna be doing our live meetup here in Jacksonville. Oh, whenever you come, it'd be cool if you came up on one of the days that we were doing the live meetup.
Definitely.
But we actually have a new location. It's gonna be at the Aloft off of Southside Boulevard. And yeah, so that's gonna be upcoming Tuesday. What's the day?
9th.
The 9th. So Tuesday's February 9th. At 6 p.m. At the Aloft on Southside. We'll be pushing it out, pushing all the information, the location, the time, and all that stuff. What was it? Did you say?
Tapestry Park.
Tapestry Park.
Yeah,
Boom. Cool. So, Andre, thanks again. Guys, I'm G.
Oh. And I'm Dom.
And we are.
And this is the Cash Geeks Network.
And I am.
And he's still G.
And you are.
Yes.
Perfect.
So guys, asleep.
All right,
And
guys.
you are half asleep.
We appreciate you guys. Hey.
Dom's falling asleep back
Hey.
there, but that's okay. It's past his bedtime, man.
Hey, I'm thinking of the deals, man. I'm not worried about intros, outros.
No, this is what
I'm
42
thinking of the
looks
deals,
like.
baby.
Oh, shit. All right, guys, we're out. Thanks, Andre.
Cheers.
Yeah.
See you guys.